got an idea. I'm going to get on the other. I'm going to get on the other. I'm going to log in under a different Chrome account. This seems to be the problem.
I think I need the
Oh,
skinny mirror.
hello.
Hello, Andrew. Hey, Gemma. Drew, we don't hang out often enough.
I rarely see you.
I know.
It's odd.
I know. I miss you, dude.
I know, man. So if only we spend 15 hours a day together.
Yeah. I didn't say we don't talk all the time. I just said we don't hang out enough.
Fair enough. For those watching, Mark and I live literally 5-minute walk, and I've seen him maybe 5 times in the past year, 2 years, physically.
It feels like much more, but I won't go into that.
Fair enough. Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello. Wow. This is so awesome. It's great to see everyone.
This is the first time for me using the studio outside of like a development environment. So this is fun. It's fun to see everybody showing up.
It is indeed.
Mark, I feel like it's appropriate. You should be on top here. You're the CEO.
I'm not sure what to make
Looking
of
down
that,
on
Drew,
me.
but
Looking down on me. You're doing your job, Drew.
Hardly. Hardly. After what we've just been through, I think that couldn't be further from the truth, my friend.
That's true. That's true. Look at all these beautiful faces.
It's amazing to see. It's so great to see everybody here and on the new platform. This is Lucia. How are you?
I need ice cream. Yes, you're right. I do need ice cream. That sounds lovely.
That is true.
His black shirt's the official Happs uniform. It appears that way. We'll see what David's wearing. I don't think he was wearing a black shirt.
That's too funny. We have truly. Oh, David is backstage. We need to add him in.
Yep.
We truly have a global group watching this. This is amazing.
David with the gray shirt and the skinny mirror.
And the skinny mirror. What is going on with my mirror? That's the weirdest thing. I tried logging on in a different account. Something about my, I don't know. We're gonna be able to live with this. Keep me in one of the skinny windows, and I'll be skinny.
I don't want to be next.
Finally, I have the thinness I've always wanted.
I love it.
Well, look, seems like we got a lot of our stalwarts here. When I see Lucia's name, it automatically makes me smile. Yeah. Veda's here, Swift Beats, Retta, the heads of the 5 families. It's like we have the Tatalias, the Barzinis, Strazzi.
I was saying earlier, David, I miss you guys. We don't hang out enough.
I know.
Do this more often.
I know, absolutely. Absolutely. I like these. Wow, I love the big bulbous new hearts too. Those are wonderful.
Those are very cool. Just wait for the cash stacks. That's when it's really
exactly.
Are you teasing some of my material, Mark?
I'm not trying to steal your material, Drew. I'm just saying.
Bartek is in the house, and that must mean it's like 1 a.m. probably where he is, something like that.
Yeah, Poland. We're do a good Polish joke.
Ooh, I like the heart with the New Year's party hat on it. That's fantastic. That's wonderful.
Isn't this amazing? So cool to see everybody here. Really great to see all of you guys.
Yes, Rev's in the house.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys joining us. We're definitely excited to share this moment with you guys.
Rev, I will take a look at Jim Jones's new thing. Do you think we should get started, you guys?
I think we should get started.
Why not?
Let's do it.
Why not? Well, this has been a momentous week for Happs in the history of Happs, and it started with the three of us. I remember sitting around in some recently vacated office in Marina del Rey. It looked like the setting for a contemporary horror movie, where the three of us and I think Douglas Caballero were actually sitting down and talking about our new co. And here we are a couple years later, and we have really this huge new iteration of Happs that is the culmination of so much effort. And it's as I'm sure we'll hear from both of you guys, it's a response to all of the feedback that we've gotten from the community about their wants and needs. So maybe why don't we start with you, Mark, telling us a little bit about the vision of Happs and how this redesign really all ties into that.
Well, first of all, David, it's so great to see you guys. I really do miss those days of us being together in the office and hanging out together. It's wonderful to see everybody and to talk on a minute by minute basis, which I feel we do. But it's not a replacement for actually hanging out with you guys, because that was some of the most fun times we've had for sure.
Agreed.
David, I first of all, I'd be totally remiss if I didn't first start off by saying a huge thank you to the Happs team that has absolutely killed themselves over the last 6 months to accomplish what we've accomplished and to get us to where we are today. I know that a lot of it is often behind the scenes and probably not visible to our community, but I can tell you there has been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears put into this, a lot of late nights, a lot of weekends, a lot of really serious thought and attention to making this, absolutely the best platform that it can be for creators. And the one thing I will say about this team is they're just 100% focused and dedicated to making that happen. And I just, I'm so thankful for the group that we have together and all they've accomplished. And then, maybe more importantly, I'm so incredibly thankful for the community that has come together on Happs and stuck with us through this period. I mean, we know that this platform has been a tremendous challenge over the last 6 months, and particularly the last few months, as we really dedicated all of our resources to what this new platform is, and not to iterating on the old platform and making it the improvements that you guys had suggested. And the fact that the community has stayed with us through that process and committed to Happs and to each other is just something we are all incredibly thankful for. And it just makes us work even harder. And I just want to be sure to share those sentiments and to tell everyone how much we appreciate you. And I'm just watching these comments scroll by, and so many incredible people who I've had the chance to interact with over the last year on this platform. And I'm thrilled that everybody is here and sharing in this moment together. So wanted to start off by saying that that's really the most important thing. But going back to your question, David, about the vision for Happs and how this all ties together. Um, when we sat down kind of and regrouped after the whirlwind of what happened earlier this year, I think we really collectively came to a very clear vision of what we wanted Happs to be and the role we want to play in this exciting new world. And that's all based around being the world's largest creator house, where creators of all types can come together, to live stream together, to collaborate with one another, and to, most importantly, reach the widest audience possible through multi-streaming. And from everything we've seen, from everything we've heard from the group of creators that have been using Happs to this point, those were really the things that were most valuable to them, and that we should really dedicate our time and our resources towards accomplishing. And so, this new platform and what we've done here is, the very first iteration of realizing that vision. But we're excited for the future iterations and what's to come in the days and weeks and years to come. So hopefully that'll be as exciting to everybody on here as it is to us.
Well said, Mark. Drew, this vision prompted this huge redesign. And what was behind that? What motivated you about that redesign? Why were the changes made? Why were the decisions made? And sort of what's the thinking behind these improvements and iterations?
How much time do we have? Um, yeah,
It's
yeah. I
our
mean,
app, so we can take all the time we want.
that's right. No time limit. It's a great question. I mean, at the center of it, obviously, is the creator. We've obviously talked to a lot of creators in the process of doing this redesign, um, and feel strongly that this is the changes that we're making here are all focused on creator success. Uh, and we studied the most successful creators and successful posts on this platform. We use a lot of the data that we've gathered over the last year to make these decisions. And we kind of boiled it down to some sort of three core tenets, if you will. One is around monetization. So, how can we be more effective at helping creators earn money? As a result of that, you guys have all seen that we've revised the awards system, and that's just the beginning. We're going to be, Mark stole my thunder a little bit earlier, but we're going to be rolling out some new awards packs, so our creators can actually select these award packs that identify with them. So we'll have stacks of cash and diamonds and other types of fun ways through these award packs that you can kind of personalize your brand on the platform. We're going to be introducing exclusive posts in the near future, so that you can actually engage with your fans on a more intimate basis. So monetization being a very key part of this redesign. And another piece of this was around discovery and collaboration. So we're really focused on, with the new designs of the app, is how do we start to surface more content to the Happs user base. So you'll notice that the continuous scroll, and there's featured content. And so we want to be able to be featuring a wide variety and diverse set of creators from that. And look forward to seeing what people are doing with all of the new features there. And then, the big elephant in the room, obviously, is a focus on vertical video, and that came as a result of all of the success that we've been seeing with these off-platform distribution points: Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. But also, as I mentioned, the data and the data that we have here shows that on-platform reach for the vertical videos is also improving, and we've seen the biggest streams yet as a result of those. As a result of portrait video,
I think we had our
and
first million person stream recently, right?
we sure
Million
did,
viewer
yeah,
stream.
in So, kind of in closing, like for us, it's it's all about multi-streaming. It's all about collaboration. It's all about monetization, and that rolls up to creator success. So as a creator, these are kind of the core tenets that we've seen consistently when talking to creators across all different types of genres. That these are the most important things for us. So that's where we're doubling down. A lot of the changes that you see today and changes that you will see in the future are going to be focused on moving the needle in any one of those three categories. And we feel like even though this feels like the first inning again, I'm really proud of the team. What we put in here, there's stuff that's missing. We recognize that, but doesn't mean that it's not coming.
There's a lot of stuff that I'm really intrigued because I'm a non-technological person and I'm kind of fascinated by all the stuff that's
No,
been
David.
Yeah, come
No.
on,
see
David.
how my co-founders are making fun of me. Like this is like come to my
Does it pass
rescue,
the David
Happs
test?
community.
Is an
Yeah.
important part
Yeah,
of the
does it pass
testing
the damn
process.
in other words, can an idiot operate this app?
I did not say that, David. No
I
way.
listen, I own it at this point. It's all good. I'm not even offended. I feel like I play a valuable role in the
It
organization.
ain't bragging if it's true,
That's
David always
right.
likes to say.
Exactly. So I'm kind of curious, like, what was the hardest part of doing that work in the back room on all this technological stuff?
I mean, I think it's making some of these tough decisions. You do want to please everyone, and but you want to make a product that's going to be successful for creators across the board. And also, given that we're a small team and we're trying to put resources in the right place, it's a battle. There's no question. I have deep empathy for those folks who are experiencing a loss of parts of this platform. I totally get it. But we looked at the data. The data is what is driving a lot of our decisions, and we're feeling really good about the direction that we're heading.
And
Hey,
when
hey, David,
sure,
I'm sorry. I'm just going to break in for a second
of
here
course.
because the comments are flying by and I'm not catching all of them, but there was two that I did want to address. One, I missed who asked it, but somebody asked who Drew is. And so I
Yeah, we
think we
probably ought to
should
like, yeah, like
introduce
what? It's
Drew.
not
I
Let
am the
that's not
enigma.
Justin Timberlake. I thought for sure that we booked him.
so
Yeah.
So, just for those of you who don't know, Drew is one of our co-founders, and it has been the key behind all of our product development and now our community activities, and that's directly. But indirectly, he's really been, the heart and soul behind everything we've been doing at Happs. So the fact that you guys don't know him is a shame. He is absolutely integral to this team, and we 1,000% couldn't have done this without him. So glad you guys
Absolutely.
are getting to know him too. And then I also saw Carrie ask, "Are we going to take questions?" And the answer is yes. There were a few things, Carrie, that we did want to cover before going into questions, but we absolutely intend to answer questions as well as
Yep.
part of this.
To that end, we'll just continue sort of the stuff we wanted to go over first, and then we will get into questions. Drew, can you tell me a little bit more about the new studio?
Yeah, I'd love to. I would love to take a moment just to talk a little bit about the vertical video because it
Sure.
certainly seems like that's the a pressing point for the community. And um, again, we're trying to do the best that we can to share behind the scenes why we've chosen to do what we've chosen to do, and again, looking at the experience we've had to date in terms of audience reach, the portrait video, by and large, by a long shot, has proven to have far more effective audience reach. So if you ladder everything back to what's best in the best interest of creators, uh, that is the hypothesis or thesis that we have, which is that landscape videos categorically have lower viewership. Portrait videos have higher viewership as a result of broadcasting on the Happs platform. So that is important for people to understand. I think there's also a piece of this where you have to look at the global usage of and where this content is being viewed. 75% or more of videos are being watched on mobile devices. And I think the other piece of this that I've always found really interesting and a super powerful stat in my mind is that over 90% of people who are watching videos on their phones are sharing them. And as a creator, that is what I want. There's nothing that is more powerful than people virally sharing the stuff that I create. That is how people grow. That's how they reach new audiences. That's how they influence and expose themselves to new views and to new opportunities to collaborate. Um, I feel it's very important that everybody understands the reasons behind why we chose to do portrait. That said, I think it's also really important, and this may not be something that's widely known, for platforms like Twitch and YouTube that are traditionally YouTube is seems as they're making a bit of a transition here, but as far as Twitch goes and YouTube today that are designed around landscape video, we actually decided to render both portrait and landscape and match and optimize the viewing experience for the platforms it's going to. So when you're multi-streaming to Twitch or you're multi-streaming to YouTube, they do go out as landscape. And the engineering team did an incredible job of working through some of the challenges of doing layouts there, especially as you start to get into 2 or 3 or 4 persons on the screen. And so really proud of the work that was done there. But it also kind of underscores this idea that we're trying to do what's right for the platforms where this content is being distributed. And on Happs, since that content is being consumed on a mobile device, portrait is the better viewing experience for as a whole. But Twitch and YouTube, we do actually support multi-streaming landscape. I don't know if I hit all of those points or not, but Mark, if you have other thoughts or ideas, feel free to throw in there.
I think you covered it.
Cool.
Great. So on that note, do you want to talk a little bit more, Drew, about the studio, some of the features there and decisions there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everybody recognizes a very different studio, especially on desktop. A very streamlined product, I believe. But again, we just went back to talking to creators, looking at all the data that was available to us and understanding what was being used, what was not being used, why things were confusing, where they're confusing. For those of you that don't know, I mean, this product from the origin across multiple different use cases has been kind of bolted together along the way. And this was the first time we were able to actually take a step back and say holistically, what is it? What does this product need to look like, and how can we make it more user friendly? So that's kind of the idea behind what we did here. We spent the time, we spent the energy to map out a lot of features that you don't even see today, and thinking about the entire experience holistically. And then, of course, the engineering team did an incredible job of implementing the first wave of features. Not to worry, screen sharing is coming back soon, very soon. Your media library will be coming back soon. So there's things that are missing that are not intentional. It's just a matter of bandwidth on our team. But in addition to some of those features that will be coming back, we've added a ton more. I don't know if you guys remember the horrid program delay where I would turn my head left and 3 seconds later it would actually show up, or I'd be talking and 3 seconds later I'd see myself talking. The most incredibly annoying thing about the old studio, in my opinion, is now gone. And I'm super proud to say that that was a lot of work and a lot of energy to get that done. Same with the mobile studio. For those of you who remember, I feel that the layout is much more intuitive and much easier to use than it was before. Um, oh, drag and drop as I'm playing around here. I should probably be on the hero spot. So drag and drop is now in the studio. This makes it really easy to move things around. Another one of my favorite things that was introduced in this latest release. We've added controls for audio, so we now have the ability to turn echo cancellation off and background audio off. We have stereo audio for those of you who have really incredible audio setups. A lot more we're going to be working on audio over the course of the period over the course of the next year. Improved video resolution. We're now sending video at a higher resolution. So really hope you guys appreciate that. What
Especially
else?
for all the artists of various kinds, including visual artists, I think that's going to make a big
Mhm.
difference.
You got it. I mentioned already that we're rendering both in portrait and landscape now. This is an extra cost to us, but we felt this was the right thing to do for our creators, and that was one of those things that we battled over. It was like what's right and what costs. This is an important fork in the road, and we chose to prioritize the creators and what's best for the creators in this instance. Um, see here.
For what it's worth, Drew, I actually look at this stream and just the picture quality and the sound quality of the three of us, and this is a high watermark for me at Happs.
I
And
appreciate
it's
that.
just, yeah, and just that kind of, I know that reliability is something that we have prioritized immensely, and I think it was something that we would always get the kind of feedback we would always hear from the community, and so that was sort of job one on this, and I already see the dividends paying off, so that's pretty cool. I don't want to pat our own back or anything. We're obviously accountable to the community, but I'm just speaking very honestly and authentically in terms of what my experience is on this live stream right now.
Yeah, for sure. Um, on the end of that list, we added TikTok. For those of you that actually are enabled to go live on TikTok, that is something that TikTok does meter. But for those of you who do have a TikTok and are unable to go live from a PC, we've incorporated that. That's just the beginning. We're working on a deeper integration that will make it a lot easier. We're also looking at Instagram and how that an integration there will work. Um, it kind of hits I think most of the upgrades to the studio. My favorite thing is it's just less cluttered. It's easier for you to sit here, have a conversation, focus on the comments, um, and and get the job done.
Please read some comments. We're going to do that. All right.
I see a couple comments about musicians and our focus on musicians. I think it's probably important for us to touch on this sense because it seems to be coming from a handful of folks. Um, we are not prioritizing musicians over other creators on the platform. To date, musicians have been the most successful category on Happs and the ones that have had the highest level of engagement. So it comes down to content, but we're we're very interested in continuing to be diverse around what content gets created. You know, who ends up in that featured spot. There is the desire here is only to surface the best content from the Happs community. We will continue to be working with musicians and onboarding musicians, of course, but it is not designed to be Happs is not a music platform. It is a creator platform, and the tools that we're building are for creators to reach their audience, monetize their audience, and earn a living. That's what's important to us.
Drew, one of the comments that Pablo passed along was, "Is there a new follower requirement now?" the question has been posed.
Yes. So in order for us to handle the platform as we've relaunched it, you know, after you guys remember back in April, but we got hit with thousands of new creators out of the gate, and it taxed infrastructure. We're being diligent about who is able to use the platform. If you were once streaming with us, or if you've been recently streaming with us, we've gone through the effort of whitelisting a lot of different creators. If you feel unfairly excluded from that list, please reach out to our support team. But another note that I think is not really clear, and we're working on fixing this with user experience, is that you can team up. If you have 4 people with a combined following of over 10,000, you can still broadcast. You can also still be a guest on anyone's broadcast. So I'm not trying to create unnecessary roadblocks here. We're just trying to be thoughtful about how we scale and you know, again, focusing on the value to the creator. Hope that was sufficient. Mark, I don't know if you want to jump in.
Well, look, you know, I think going back to what you said in the beginning, Drew, the emphasis on that was obviously when we opened this platform up, we got absolutely inundated, and it just completely overwhelmed our system. And we wanted to learn from our mistakes. And with this launch, we did make the decision to meter it so that we go slowly. We'll see how that evolves over time. But we want to make sure that this is a quality experience, and you know, that we don't create a platform that just blows up again and is a bad experience for all involved. So
yeah, and I think it's important too. I'm seeing some comments around. I went live this morning. I don't have 10,000 followers. One, it's total combined across all of your social graph, so total audience. Two, if you've been whitelisted as a result of being an active creator in the past, you are good to go. That whitelist is not going away. Nobody's going to take away your abilities to go live. Don't worry. If you can go live today, you will be able to go live in the future. No changes are planned there. So hopefully that helps ease any concerns.
There is a second part of this that I think we didn't touch on, but is really important as well. One of the things that we witnessed very clearly in, you know, in what happened over the past year is that live streamers who came to the platform who didn't have a sufficient following had a really bad experience on
Yeah.
Happs. And they were very negative about the platform. And it was because they didn't have a large enough group of people in order to generate a audience and have the comments come in and have the experience that we all look to have on one of these platforms. And so, what we're doing through this is we're encouraging people to collaborate and to multi stream in order to get a sufficient enough, you know, group of followers together that you have the ability to get a viewership that'll make it a fun and enjoyable experience for you. And I know that's not the most popular thing to do per se, but I can tell you from all the feedback that we got, you know, the worst experience was clearly the experience where people didn't have people watching their broadcast. And so that's what we were really looking to solve for.
Yeah. I think, again, worth reiterating, if you're whitelisted and you can go live today, that won't change. You will always have, regardless of your follower count. So again, if you feel like you've been wrongly excluded from that whitelist as being part of our OG creator group, please reach out. Let us know. Cool.
David, I think you're on mute.
Sure am. I was trying to figure out how to kill my notifications, which are coming in. Um, can there are a lot of best practices in building audience that we've seen creators use, and I know we've designed our tools to tweak that effort. Can you speak, Drew, to a little bit of that about what you've seen? Because I think so much of what we've been designing has been really to try to help people do that.
Yeah, I'd love to. Real quick, I see Swift Beats asking about VIP badges. Uh, just quick update on that. We opted to get rid of all the VIP badges, and one of the things I'm really excited about that's coming down the pipe is a lot around kind of this idea of recognizing our top creators, top fans. So there will be kind of a reimagination of badges that will be coming, and I'm really excited to share more on that when that actually happens. So hang tight. Uh, it will there will be some announcements around that at some point. And then David, to your question,
Yep.
best practices around audience growth. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's really one of the main drivers for us is trying to find ways to help creators grow audience. And our our partnership with Reddit, we're working on a couple different partnerships across different social platforms. But I think at the kind of purpose of what this platform is designed to do, it's all around collaboration. So you'll see and continue to see improvements to the platform that will push the collaboration piece more to the forefront. And we feel that that is something that is going to be integral into differentiating us from other platforms, but also giving power to creators to be able to reach new audiences, to be able to forge new friendships and new business opportunities with other creators. So the idea of collaboration is something that we feel very strongly in, and is probably the biggest opportunity we see with audience growth.
Right. Um, Veda was asking, when can we connect to TikTok?
So you can today, but it requires that you've been whitelisted by TikTok. It's kind of cryptic on their end what that means. My The best answer that I can kind of give is uh, every person that I know that's part of the TikTok creator program has been whitelisted to stream from a PC. I'm not saying that that is the only way. There may be other ways, but that is the way that I'm aware of. Is Seems to be kind of guaranteed. So if you want to go through the process of requesting to be part of that creator program, I'm not sure the details exactly of what's required there. You may have luck getting that unlocked.
Right. I know that a number of people commented about asking for a telephone number. Can you sort of elaborate on why that question is asked and how it ties in, ironically, to things that creators want on the platform?
So can you repeat that, David? I'm trying to keep up with the
Oh,
comments
okay,
and
yeah. We're asking for a phone number now as part of
oh yeah.
the sign up process, and we live in a world where there's always suspicion about that kind of thing. Can you talk a little bit about why we're asking and how that ties into actually what creators want the platform to be?
Yeah, Mark, I feel like you could take this one. I feel like I've been talking a lot.
I'm sorry, I was reading the questions. David,
We're
can you
asking.
just
He's
repeat
asking
it?
about phone number. Why we chose to do phone number,
Why we ask
and what
for
the
phone
benefits.
numbers, and
Yeah.
why does it actually why how did that actually emanate, ironically, from the kind of platform that our creators want to have?
Oh yeah, I mean, very very simply, uh, this is all about creating a safe space for creators. and doing everything that we can to make sure that uh, everybody has one account, that they are here as part of a constructive and caring community, and treat each other with respect, and in all ways, shapes, and forms. And the best way to do that, it's very easy to set up a second email. And we see lots of people who have many accounts on Happs. And the easiest way to deal with that issue is to move to a phone number authentication system that really makes that a much harder thing to do and much less likely. And I think you see that's why most platforms are moving to that. Is it just cuts down on a lot of the nonsense that happens when people are creating multiple accounts and behaving accordingly.
My role in on the team focuses a lot on the safety of the platform and the environment that we're trying to create and maintain for creators. And I got to tell you, the interesting thing about trolls is they are so easy to get rid of with stuff like this. Like, because when we see you guys doing your best work to create, and somebody comes onto your stream and is an asshole, you know what? We love kicking them the fuck out. Like you deserve to be treated
That's another way
respectfully.
to say it, David.
Yeah, you deserve to be treated respectfully. You deserve a platform that is troll free. That doesn't mean that we won't have robust political debates when there's political topics being discussed and things like that. But if you're playing your music or you're doing your poetry or you're showing us your visual artwork, you deserve to not have people who are on the platform or on your streams for the purposes of harassing you or making you miserable or saying nasty things. you know, we're going to just boot your ass right out of this platform. And so I'm not big on giving my phone number out when I don't need to give it out. But you know what? I'm very happy to give it out for this purpose because I really feel like it helps us just get rid of the people who are here for no good reason. They're just here to be jerks. And so much of what we heard from the Periscope people who were part of the original team was that Periscope had gotten insufferable for that reason. And you know what? It's amazing how when you get rid of a few bad apples that just want to do that and they're just professional provocateurs, this platform can actually be a very supportive, positive place. We're here to help you do your work, do your creative work, build your audience, and make money. If somebody's going to get in the way of that, we're going to boot them right out of here. So that's what we're going to do for you, and that's what the asking for the phone number is all about.
So a
Now,
question about Periscope followers. Do we want to touch on that?
what's the question? I missed what.
I lost all my followers today, which I would
Oh,
assume is a result. Well, there's two potential answers to that. One could be Periscope, which with the launch of this new app, Periscope being no longer available, we decided to eliminate the Periscope followers as part of the audience reach. We feel like that's the transparent and honest and right thing to do. So if anybody's wondering why they don't have followers that they typically had from the Periscope day, that is why. The other thing that could be happening is that you could be stuck in a temporary account. There is a bug that's been filed, and I believe that fix has been deployed. I'm not sure it's out in the app stores yet, but keep your eye out for that. I know Peter and Pablo have been on the front lines, kind of communicating that type of stuff. But those are one of the two reasons why your follower count might not be accurate.
okay. Do we have some other questions coming through? This is from Doe, actually. She writes, "Are Happs relying on larger creators who have larger followings elsewhere to bring views on Happs? I'm just trying to work out how Happs will grow itself, like how we would grow a following in app. I'm worried how little viewers there are actually in Happs." Do we want to address that?
we are hell bent to bring on new creators and breathe a lot of energy into this platform. So yes, we've got a very interesting and fun next month or so. I'll just leave it at that.
But Doe, I mean, going back to Doe's question, that's the whole reason why we've re-architected Happs the way that we have. I understand from we're seeing in the comments it's not popular with everybody, but we've really looked at what is successful and what is not successful on Happs, and it's all about audience reach. And the way you reach an audience through Happs, right now at least, is by multi-streaming to as many platforms as you have followers on, and by collaborating with other creators on the platform who also have followers. And far and away, that is the most successful, formula for how do you make use of Happs to, do what you guys want to do. And so we built this very much to encourage that and not to give people a bad user experience. And what we were seeing was when people went live onto Happs and they had no followers and they didn't multi-stream and they didn't collaborate with anybody, all that happened was they had a bad user experience.
Yeah.
So that's why we made the changes that we made, because it wasn't a good experience for them and it wasn't a good experience for the others on the platform who had to experience that. So we're not shying away from it. We're telling you exactly the reasons why we did what we did, and that's why we've come out and done the things that we've done in this next iteration. I think as time goes on, certainly would hope and envision that some of those requirements loosen up as more people come onto the Apps platform and there's more viewers on platform, and we can help people get exposure within the Apps, community and environment. But right now, before we have that, this is the way to ensure that people have a good experience on Apps and are able to successfully use this platform.
Mark and Drew,
by the way,
us,
I saw.
yeah.
I saw a couple comments about iPad. iPad fix is coming. That was a bit of an oversight on our end. Something happened and broke it right at the end, and we missed it. We're on it.
C.S. Murphy has an interesting technical question. What is the current pixel aspect ratio for this new portrait setup?
We're 2:3, so 2:3 ratio, and I think it's 720 by some whatever the math is on that. It's been a long day, but 720 width and whatever height is 2:3.
I love Heavenly Dew's comment. So y'all subscribe to me, not so shameless plug. There you go. Building audience. It's
Love it.
Yeah, I respect that. Exactly. I'll let you guys help me. You can just jump in on any of the comments or questions since there's so many of them. We could. Are we able to block troll comments from other platforms coming in? Drew?
I think that is on the roadmap. I don't want to make any promises, but I know I've heard it a number of times. So where on the list, I don't know, but it is certainly something we've talked about.
Yep. Could someone please answer why Veda has 1,000 plus followers and can't connect TikTok?
Connect TikTok. Well, I think in this instance. Oh, well, yeah, actually, no, I know exactly what's going on. So on TikTok, you can go live from the app, but you need the ability to stream to RTMP. Those are two separate tiers. So on TikTok, I think it's 1,000 followers in order to unlock live streaming on the platform. There is a little button at the bottom. Let's see if I can find it for you. That if it is on, if it, oh boy, TikTok ads. Ew. Okay, I'll show you real quick. So on TikTok, if you can see, there's two options. There's device, and then there's cast to PC or Mac. And if you don't have that option, you'll see cast to PC or Mac. If you don't have that option underneath Go Live, then you're not able to use the integration that we've built, unfortunately. That may change in the future. We're working on figuring that out.
Yep.
Sorry about it,
guys. No worries. Mark, Drew, any other comments? I'm looking here, Pablo, and yeah, I think we
So
can. I think unless we have
I
other,
think the answer is we are not currently supporting RTMP in. So
correct.
I've seen a few people asking that question.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people using the virtual cam on OBS beautifully. I think we've got someone live right now that's using it to produce music. So if you need help setting that up, I'm sure that one of our team members could help.
Great. Before we wrap up, you guys, is there any kind of feedback that we're wanting from the users as they're using the new app and from the creators? And how can they best go about, doing that? Letting us know. And is there anything in particular that we're hoping the audience tells us about?
Yeah, I mean, the short answer is anything that comes through support, I see. Obviously, Peter and Pablo have been doing a bang up job of working with this community, but all of that all of those questions eventually find their way to me. So if you have questions, comments, suggestions, please send us an email at support. Get in touch with Peter or Pablo. We get to read and take seriously all of that feedback.
And I guess there's a hot stream going on right now. So after we wrap, I'm told by Pablo and Peter that I should tell people about the live stream that's going on from Mansuki. So with that, I think we're wrapped up. Unless Mark and Drew, you have anything else that you want to say? We'll obviously come back on here and stay in touch with everybody, and you guys know how to get a hold of us.
Sounds good.
All right.
Awesome.
Pleasure to hang out with everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate the comment.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.